Welcome back to another episode of Metal Gear Saga by Ape Supremacy Entertainment. This is Monster Thief 89 and episode 7 is called Draw. So in this episode we are finally gonna get our first boss fight of the game, and personally I think it's one of the most annoying boss fights in the entire series. But let's not jump ahead and focus on the stuff that is right here in front of us. This screen here, this is like a little landing spot for helicopters with a couple of buildings where they store food and resources and all of that. And as I was saying in Snake Eater, it's kind of important to supply yourself, more so than in other Metal Gear games, I believe. So I'm trying to scout out the area and try to get into the buildings in order to find, for example, silencers or ammunition or anything of value that I can use. The problem is though, the visibility is kind of low here. That is something weird they do in all the Metal Gear games. I wasn't sure about it, but I thought that I remembered correctly. Whenever you are below something, like when you crawl under a space and you go into first person view, that you are immediately invisible to the enemy. That is something that is really weird. I guess it's because of technical limitations, but it makes no sense whatsoever. But the anxiety is actually there when you walk around like this, not knowing where exactly the enemies are, not knowing whether your camouflage index is high enough. It is quite exhilarating and really fun to sneak around. Because, as I was saying, the threat is always there in sneaking games. And when you get discovered, shit is going down. Also, since I know the game, I know that I'm going to have to do a boss fight later. And I need the bullets. If I got caught here in this scene, I couldn't fight back with the gun because I need the ammo. That is something games do rather rarely today. They almost always give you so much ammo you can just shoot everything into the ground. And that is something that takes away from the tension in a lot of games. Not only in sneaking games. For example, Resident Evil 1. Do you remember Resident Evil 1? You had no ammo whatsoever. You just didn't have any. And every shot you needed to make count. Or you were thinking about every shot. Can I use it? Can I do it? Or will that screw up my game later? I think that is something that is also in Metal Gear Solid 3, at least at the start. Later on you get a lot of ammo, but then again you're always fighting bosses, so that's okay. But here right at the start, it's really important to at least try to conserve your ammo and your silencers. And that is something that's really prickly with Metal Gear Solid 3. When you're lying on the ground, you get stuck on the environment a lot, and then he just can't move at all. He's just like twitching around like he's being shocked by lightning or something. Talking about I am lightning. So there is the silencer, but I can't put it on the gun. That's weird. I think this is the moment I realize I also have the tranquilizer gun. Or at least it starts to dawn on me that I might have the silencer, the other gun. also the ambient sound in this game. There's always some sort of sound around you. Yeah, you are just seeing things. Nobody here. You didn't see the badass. That rat you see there, I could actually shoot it and eat it later. It's not gonna help a lot with stamina regeneration, but it is possible. Every enemy you see, you can kill and eat. That is, by the way, if you are wondering, this is the PlayStation 3 HD version, which is basically an upgraded version of the upgraded version of Snake Eater. Meaning this is actually Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence, in which they changed the camera. In the original Metal Gear Solid 3, I think the camera was, you couldn't move it. It was fixed above you, and you had to use the first-person view a lot more. In this, you can just like twirl the camera around you and see everything, which is much better when it comes to gameplay, but again, takes away from the tension a little. And now we are entering the boss fight.
Ah, you're here at last. Looks like the boss's info was right. Twice now you've made me taste bitter defeat. Disappoint the Cobras, but you're mine now. All of you, leave us. It's just you and me. No one to get in our way. Ocelots are proud creatures. They prefer to hunt alone. Shots. This time I've got 12 shots.
That is actually a throwback to Metal Gear Solid 1, because the fight with Ocelot there starts exactly like this. But what I think they really overdid it here with the twirling of the revolver. In my view, in Metal Gear Solid 1, he did that too. But that kind of added to his character. Like, he was completely relaxed and he could like flip around his gun a little. The Ocelot in the later games, he's really a controlled guy. Here, he's young and adventurous. It actually does kind of fit the character as well, because as we've seen before, Ocelot likes to show off. And in this game, he's twirling the guns around. He's doing it with 2 or 3 guns at a time later. And he's just showing off. That is completely different than when he does it later in the game. When he does it later in the game, it's just like he's
Tension
cool.
like this before.
And he's controlled. And
So
here
different
he's
from
showing
changing a
off
clip.
like a stupid kid. Look what I can do. This is what he's doing here, and this is it actually fits his
Reload
character
time is
here, but
exhilarating.
I still don't really like it. I have to say that. I also don't think it's really cinematic or whatever when you like watch him twirl the fucking guns around for 20 minutes. It's annoying as shit.
You're all talk, huh?
I know what Kojima is doing with it, you know, it's complimenting his character in the way I described, that he's just arrogant, he's showing off his skills and failing at it most of the times. Still, I think he could have done it in a better way. Why the fucking twirl? No, don't like it. Now, let's talk about this boss fight. I'm really fighting crappy as hell in this boss fight. The problem is that the controls in this game, they are kind of, yeah, you're not used to controls like this anymore. I'm still adapting to the control scheme at this point, because when you go into first person view, you actually stand still and you control the gun with the left stick, not the right, like you're used to by now, and what they are doing in Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5. So that is kind of annoying, that is kind of irritating. And also when you get hit, you get knocked out of the first person view and you have to like look again. And also there is very little auto aim in this game, I think. Like in Metal Gear Solid 2 there's more auto aim. When you hold down the L1 button, you can actually run with the gun ready to shoot. And while you do that, you have a certain amount of auto aim. And did you see, I just pointed in the completely wrong direction. That is exactly what I was trying to figure out here. How does it work? Can I only use the first person view? Is that all I can do? Also then, of course, you don't really see him a lot of times. And that's why I think this is the most annoying boss fight in pretty much the entire series. And finally I've had enough and throw grenades at Ocelot. Why ever he survives this, I don't know. I guess because he's a badass. That's probably the explanation. And also like, and what's really good about Snake Eater is the soundtrack. This soundtrack is awesome.
In that range, huh?
Man, I suck at this. But I can promise you, I do better in the other boss fights. Really, honestly, I do. Bam! Knocked on his ass. Cooking the grenade quite a long time. Man, that went nowhere. You dirty. Now they're gonna shoot him from the back, I think. No, not yet.
You're all talk, huh?
Yeah, I'm not all talk. I kicked your ass twice already.
Not bad, eh?
You're pretty good. Also, do you see this? I really think Snake, as quick with everything as he is, would just, like... And look, I miss him there. Oh, terrible shooting. Terrible shooting. To the left there, he could cross the gap there, actually. but for some reason, Snake can't. I actually think the big boss might try to get over there and take the gun away from him. Now, Battle 1, cutscene, and end of this episode actually. I hope you had fun and see you again later with episode 2 for this day.
Damn it. He found us. You were lucky. We'll meet again.